Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. I'm just getting set up here to see if I can find myself. On my iPad. Doesn't seem to want to. Hi Lisa! I can't actually find. You're talking to me is reassuring, but it doesn't want to come up on my iPad at the moment. Just give it a moment, we'll get settled. I was going to record, well, I was going to do this live last night, then I was going to record it this morning. I got tired last night, and then I was going to record it this morning, and then I decided I would just go live because I'm sitting here all lonely at my craft desk, and I am going out later on today, so am I actually on my own channel? Yeah, I found myself. So hi Joanna. Oh well, just you get your head down, Joanna. Get that finished. That's me. That you're my kind of girl. 11th hour. Hi Lisa. And hi Karen from across the water. No idea if this is going to work. So, story is, I saw a picture on Pinterest, and there's no blog link or anything like that on Pinterest, but the lady is called Sandra Welford. I do not have another device so that I can show you the picture. So it's a sort of, well, I don't know what you call it, is a Z-fold card. So what she'd done was, it was standing like a screen and it had flowers coming out of what looked like a window box. It did look like it was dies. So I started to try and do it in centimetres. I've decided to do it in inches because then everyone can have a go. I don't know if it's going to work out. I've done a whole lot of die cuts of what I think in my head might work. So I've cut out 6 of these long dies from, I brought all the die sets that I've used out, so let you see. And I've just cut everything in white. I might just make this a white on white card, but then later on make one that's got colour. But I did think if I want to add colour, I can use my blending brushes or my blends and colour up these dies. So I've got the long die, as I've shown you, from Irresistible Blooms. I took this die from Natural Prints. I've cut 3 of them. And I've just cut loads and loads of the flowers and butterfly from Meadow dies, because what I don't use in this card I'll use in other cards. So that's the 3 die sets. Now all these die sets are, well, the Natural Prints and the Meadow dies are carrying over to the annual catalogue. Now these were available with their stamp sets in bundles and will be until the end of April. When they go over to when the annual catalogue goes live, these will not be available as a bundle. You'll have to buy them separately, and they will cost you a bit more because you won't get that 10% discount that you get on a bundle. And Irresistible Blooms dies is an online exclusive. Now we've been using the stamps, they're fab, but I just used, what did I use from here? Yeah, the long die. It's just fab. So that's it. That's what I've got here, a whole pile of die cuts. Now I'm going to pop them just over to the side. They're all in a tangle, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I've kind of figured out what I think might work and cut some bits. I've got a pencil here so that I can write down things that I've got wrong. So kind of my idea here is that you need a piece of card which is 9 inches by 6 inches, but then you can, once you know how this works, you can fancy it up to suit yourself. And I'm going to make 3 pockets, and for each pocket we need a piece of card that is 4.5 inches by 2.25 inches, and I keep thinking that doesn't look like 4 inches. But it is. My brain, it's funny how you just like, it doesn't look like that. So I haven't cut these out yet. So I've got 3 panels which are not thinner. Oh, that's because that's not actually the right measurements. This is the one I cut. I just wrote the measurements. I was trying to figure it out in centimetres and gave up. Right, I will though. I just thought, the sun's shining outside. I am going out this afternoon. Going into town. I've got a gift voucher which I'm going to spend in a gift shop. I hope if I see things I like. It was a big voucher that I was given from my work when I retired, so it's, do you know what, I think it's good to go and spend it and then let the people who contributed see what I buy. So I'm going to try and do that this afternoon, as hubby's going into town to do something, a watch strap or something, so I thought that I would go with him, because seeing as I don't drive, that's the easiest way to get into town. So I beg a lift. So I think I've cut the panels, and I think that 2 of these will fit on each panel and just give it some texture. So, and then the pockets. So what I'll do first is cut the pockets out and score them up to let you see, and then then it'll just be sticking and things. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, because right now I have, and that lady's name, so you can look on Pinterest at where I got my inspiration. I'm no way copying her. It was like dyes, and it looks like the whole thing's made from dyes, but there's what I've worked out so far. And what I need now is a piece of, now I've done the card base with thick basic white. I'm doing all the other bits in normal basic white, the thinner one, she says. Right, let's just get in my trimmer. Where art thou, trimmer? Here. So, have you got a screenshot? Now there's more people in, so come in, and if you come in and say hello. There's a wee cozy up by the fire. There's lots of Easter treats on the table. Chocolat galore. And so I need 3 pieces that are 4.25 by 2.25. So if I cut this at 4.25 that way, we're doing inches today, girls. Surprise, surprise. I'm bilingual in inches and centimetres, you see. Right, 2.25. So I need 3 of these. 1. 2. Yeah, please give me a thumbs up. After all, ladies, I could have just done my washing and hung it out instead of coming to share with you. Oh dear, that's a poor joke, but hey, I could have. I've just cut a spare one just in case. Right, and then I'm going to pop my trimmer away. And I'm bringing in my scoreboard because for these, and that's the reason I thought, you know, do it in inches, because using your scoreboard is much easier than trying to do it on the trimmer. Hello Patricia, in you come. Good evening from Melbourne. So you're nearly at the end of Good Friday and we're just at lunchtime here in the UK. But yeah, happy Easter everybody. Right, so this says, so you score it 1/4, 1/2 and 3/4. And now I'm going to do this on 3 sides. So a quarter, a half and 3/4. We are discussing inches. Then turn it at 90 degrees and do a quarter, a half and 3/4. This is way out of my usual live comfort zone. So I usually practice 3D things quite a lot before I do them online. So I need 3 that look like that. So put it hard into the corner, and it's a quarter, a half and 3/4. Turn it around, a quarter, a half and whoops and 3/4. Oops, a quarter, a half and 3/4. Last one. Hi Shaz, and you come. A happy Easter. A quarter, a half, 3/4. Quarter, a half and 3/4, and then whoops, a quarter, 3/4, no, a quarter, a half, 3/4. So that's all 3 of those. So we can take the scoreboard away. Don't need the spare one at the moment. Right, so then I just take my snips. I don't know if putting the big light on helps here or not. Put it on, see. I don't know. Right. We're making a card that's going to be a sort of Z-fold card, but it's going to have flowers and things. I'm just doing white on white today for some reason. Well, because I probably won't have time to. So I'm just going to take my snips and cut diagonally there. Sort of mitering that. Maybe could have done my fold and burnish first, but it won't matter. So you're just cutting diagonally through. Could measure it if it worries you. This is just to make a wee pocket for the flowers. So basically, where's my bone folder? Do you know what? I'm doing a cut and score to project, and I should have my bone folder ready. Right, here we go. Right, so all these folds, so it's fold and burnish. So it's mountain, valley, mountain. And just mountain, valley, mountain. So like a concertina, basically. Mountain, valley, mountain, and really burnish them. Right, so that's that one. We'll just do these all. We don't need them right now. Oh, hi Curly Top. Don't know what your real name is. I assume you have curly hair. So do I when I don't use those straighteners. My dad actually used to call me Curly Top because I have really curly hair. Look, I have a picture of when I was a little girl here. Look, Shirley Temple curls. Oh, hope you get better quick, Shaz. So that was mountain, valley, mountain. Oh, mountain, valley. I mean, this is major for me because I don't normally do projects that take more than 10 minutes to figure out. Right, so there's 2 pockets. I thought since it was a holiday and as I say, I'm going into town this afternoon and going to have to go to a supermarket at some point. I'm not really, I can't believe how silly I've been. I don't know where I've been, under a stone or something, but I didn't actually realise it was Easter this weekend until maybe yesterday. So, oh yeah, it's the holiday weekend and the shops will be busy and I've got family coming for dinner on Sunday. Luckily I have the meat, I just have to get veggies and something sweet, but I'm not actually looking forward to braving the shops. But right, so there's the 3 pockets which I think I'm going to use. So there's the instructions for that. Then the panels. I have 3 panels here. What I might do is go ahead and do 1 panel so that if we kind of run out of time, you can visualise the finished card. Right, I should have, yeah. Let's just be a bit sensible here. Let's think. Okay, look at the state of this mat. Do you know who I blame for the state of this mat? Which obviously it's me that did it. But I did a class with Ruth of Artful Stamping. And it was one of her messy classes. And it involves a silicone mat. And it must have been, what was the magenta? What was the colour we had? The really, really bright pink. Oh, that would be lovely, Joanna, on the farm at Easter time. So what is your actual name, Curly Top? Magenta Madness, yeah, that's what's here. But, you know, Ruth made me do it. Right, so I'm just going to put dots. I did think of using the adhesive sheets here, but I did hear someone else that had tried to use the adhesive sheets with this and had just found it quite tricky. So I'm just going to put some glue on the dots and maybe some of the thick bits and see how that goes. Yes, it's definitely Ruth's fault. So she's not even here and I'm blaming her for something. So I just watched the Good Friday service from Ruth's church because she broadcasts it on YouTube, and yay. So I know she'll be busy at church, but she'll catch up and somebody will tell her that I blamed her. Somebody will clipe. If you don't already watch Artful Stamping with Ruth, then go and look for her. Where are my tweezers? Because I think I'm going to get covered in glue otherwise. Look at my shake. And then we'll do the same with this one. So I'm thinking that maybe we'll only get one panel, but all 3 panels on this card are much the same. And obviously you can do it in colours, but just this kind of is the prototype. And I think then what I might do is on my... Are you all members of Jazzle Dazzle and Friends Craft shared group? Because what I'm thinking is to issue a wee challenge on there, so you could follow my video for the measurements and things and make your own version of this. I'm not worrying whether they're all the same way up or anything, I'm just putting it down there. Just using that just to... And then you could do colours and things. And then once you've got these stuck down, then just take your snips whoops, whoopsie doopsie. Now, here's the deal. Now I want to put my little window box kind of on the bottom here. This is the idea. Do you know what? It might work, it might not. So you could just tape, if you're a tape person. I'm just a messy wet glue person. So I'm just going to pop. Sometimes this is cleaner with tape, but I'm not going to get over worried about it. I'll just put a thin line of glue. Oops. Hit that corner, and then we'll just get that to tuck in there. Just use tweezers, quite a good idea, just to poke everything where it should be, and then just hold it down till the glue takes hold. So there you see you have a kind of window box. I'm going to pop the die that I cut from Nature's Prints dies here as a wee panel on my box. Now you could decorate that, you could put it through an embossing folder, you could put a sentiment on it. Right, so that's one panel. So I've lost the blank for the card. So that's going to go... I do like white on white, to be honest, girls. So I needed to... I can do the rest on the card, but I needed to know this was going to work. So that's like my wee window box. I made this up in my head. I hope you're impressed. From just a picture. If you go onto Pinterest and look up that lady's name, I think you might find the card that I was inspired by. Okay, so shall I make up another panel? Just, I ask you and then I'll do it anyway. And then that one's there, so let's just get these dies kind of tangling up on each other. I'll get a wee drink. Oh, my third cup of coffee. Right. So again, just popping glue on the dots. If you want to have a go at doing this, obviously if you don't have these dies, you could use an embossing folder and do a panel with texture, or you could use other dies that you might have. It's just as an idea that you might want to develop. Again, I've used things that are either going to be in the online exclusive or are carrying over to the new catalogue this time. But as I say, I would urge you, if you want any of the dies with stamp bundles, like the Nature's Prints or the, what's the other one? Meadow dies. What's the Quiet Meadow is the stamp set that goes with the Meadow dies. It's a absolutely fabulously versatile flower set. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And do you know what's been really cathartic for me is I have I have done a bit of cleaning in my craft room, but I've cleared away into a separate box everything that is retiring. It's not, I can still access them to use them if I want to this month, but actually I'm down to, I think I cleared out 66 stamp sets. Some of them were ones that I've retired from other catalogues and I had just had them on a kind of back shelf, but I've taken them all down. And I am left with what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, probably about 31 stamp sets that are carrying over or on online exclusive. So, which, you know, it's actually better for me. And a handful of die sets, it makes, when you've got too much stuff, you get overwhelmed and you don't know what you're going to do. So I only had a few die sets to look through to say, right, well, what am I going to use for this card that I want to do? What dies have I got? I did have other dies. I had the sending dies. There's some nice flowers in that set. So if you don't have Meadow, you might have the sending. Is that the right? Yeah, it's just I put that one too near that side, but you know what? I'll just tease this out a little. We're going to be putting flowers on anyway, so it's not really. Just make sure it's got a hold. Trim off the extra bits. And also, since I die cut all this morning, I need to hoover my craft room a bit. Floor, there's bits everywhere, and if I don't hoover them off the floor, then they'll go through the whole house. Oh, Valerie, hello! I never saw you. When you come, we're all just having a wee get together here, and there's plenty of chocolate and other treats on the table. There's a fire on. If you're too hot, there's aircon. You know, just you get yourself comfortable wherever you are. Right, and then we'll pop. Actually, I think we're okay. I think I might actually manage to finish the whole card, because if I stick with white on white, or I might just be me and do a pop of colour in this somewhere, because sometimes that's what I quite like. Right, let's see. I want that. You just have to tell it what you need it to do. I'm the boss. Did you know that? I'm the boss of this paper. I'm just going to use... Don't ask me what I've done to my finger, I have no idea. I don't have any pets, so nothing, no pets have scratched me. So the only thing that could have scratched me was me, because I'm on my own in the house, and I don't think it was there this morning. Okay, so glue. So it kind of looks like, you know, a wee garden that's got, I don't know. Do you know, you get these wooden constructions with the box at the bottom. I don't eat, you can help yourself to chocolate on my table, because I don't actually eat chocolate. I don't eat sugar. I'm liking this, ladies. I just think we need a bit more glue here. If you're going to squeeze your glue, don't do it over your project. That will invariably go wrong. Yeah, we'll just go and do the third panel. This is looking okay, isn't it? I'm liking the texture. And then we're just going to fill each one with flowers. I think, anyway, that's my idea. So I've cut loads from the meadow dies. Whoops, get out there. Still some bits that haven't been poked out, but I don't think it matters that much. Good on her, she's making sure. Yeah, well, I've got 2 of my grandchildren coming over on Sunday. So Easter eggs will probably feature, well, chocolate will feature. I might be too late to buy eggs, I don't know. Usually I just give them money. Or when they were little, when they were littler, when they were small, I just give them books. I'm not really a great giver of sweeties, because they will have had a hunt tomorrow morning. No, Sunday morning before they come to me. They'll have had a hunt with their friends. They're coming to me in the evening. So they'll probably be like full of chocolate when I see them. My husband had the idea of chocolate ice creams for pudding on Easter Sunday for them all. But that's obviously because he's looking for the chocolate fix that I don't look for. I'm just putting dots. Just got to be a wee bit patient, but to be honest it doesn't take too long. So those of you who bought my Queen Bee class in the post I have this morning, finished doing all the die cutting for that, and it will go in the post probably Tuesday now, because everything's closed, but I will get it finished and ready to post over the weekend. Can't remember who of the people that are watching might have bought it. The PDF's well on its way anyway. It's not quite finished, but I've got it all in hand. So those of you who bought the PDF, that will be coming out to you across the world soon. The silicone mat is quite handy when you're using this amount of glue on a project. Right, we're having a bit of a issue here, so just smooth it all down. Do you know, I think it's so funny that if I was sitting doing this on my own, it would take forever. But because I've got a bit of company, it just doesn't feel too bad. Right, so when I was a child, we got quite a lot of Easter eggs. And there were 5 children. And Mum, I was the oldest. And then you would get to have an egg on Easter Sunday after Sunday school. And when you opened it, someone had already taken the sweeties out, because Mum displayed them all on the windowsill. Now they probably all, do you know, with the sun and everything, they probably all melted and reformed, and I don't know. But the eggs used to break in 2 halves, and there used to be, so it was wrapped in foil, then it broke into, it was in 2 halves, and it would have a packet of sweeties in the middle, and then we would open out, it would, you know, whether it would be Smarties or Jelly Tots or whatever, we'd open them out, excited to get the packet of sweets out, to discover that someone had already helped themselves to the sweeties out of the eggs. Now I know it wasn't me, but obviously everyone else denies that it was them. So yeah, that's quite a good idea, Joanna. I do like to treat them at Easter time, just I think that just needs to tuck in a wee bit there. As I say, just remember you're in charge, not the paper. And then we'll just pop this panel on, and then we have our 3 boxes. As I say, I'm not quite sure how I'm fixing the flowers and things in, but I just... Unfortunately, I don't get to see my Australian grandchildren at Easter time, but or any time regularly, but hopefully we'll get a wee FaceTime and they'll be able to tell me if the Easter Bunny came to Australia too. So there is kind of what the card has got. I have no idea if it would actually, well, it will kind of fold, yeah, look. If you need to put it in an envelope, it would fold. And then we have all these, all this. So it's just about making arrangements. So we can colour the flowers, or we can just, I don't know, I've got time to do a bit of colouring and give you a kind of idea. Put a few bits and bobs. So what do you think? Do we have coloured flowers and things, or do we just stick with having a white on white card? What do you want, ladies and gents? Got some flutterbies. Quite a delay. Well, we just, yeah, I think I'll stick with white on white. So, I'm not going to be a flower arranger. I'm just going to stick some flowers in. And green, you know, white greenery. You're all saying different things. So, the deal is, Shaz, you join, if you haven't already, join Jazzle Dazzle and Friends Craft Share Group on Facebook. You do have to answer questions. But, and then I'll let you in. And then we'll have a challenge for folk to watch the video and then make their own version, so then you could do a colourful one. I'm just putting a bit of foliage at the back. I love these dies because if you cut them in white, then you can do what you like with them. A decent amount of glue here on that bit, and just some odd, I don't want it to be too flat, but I'll just, now obviously have to kind of, on that one it's okay, but on the middle panel you need to be a bit careful of the fold. And then, have I got another one like that? Yeah. It's just that this kind of fills the, and it won't matter if this one is over either because it's on the top. It's just the middle panel. You don't want anything getting caught up in the fold. So you would be able to fit this into an envelope. What else have we got? Should have had split them up. I do like this cornflower. There's a bit of me thinking I might colour that up. The base card is that I've done, that is 9 inches by 6 inches, but when you fold that up it's 3 by 6. So even if you popped it into, or you could even like do that and put it into a 6 by 6 envelope. They don't all, each part doesn't need to have exactly the same things in it, but I think I might have cut 3 of just wee dots of glue. Again, you could use glue dots even to stick things. If you're a flower arranger and you like this sort of thing, when I get a bunch of flowers, I just throw them at the vase and they always look nice. But some people, I have done a bit of flower arranging in my time, but sometimes I do say that. I just take time over things. Because these are so tall, I think it is better to, you know, put a bit of glue to hold them. Yeah, white on white is classy because I'm a classy girl, am I? That doesn't seem to have stuck to anything. So you can just build this up to suit, you know, whatever you want. I don't need everything in it. I think we'll just maybe put the cornflowers in. Oops. This is things, jobs like this is getting all the wee bits that didn't come out. It takes time when you're doing a project like this, but I think we're okay. I think I'm still under an hour, so I'm cool with that. Do you know what I'm going to do? I've got this idea. It's coming now. The idea is coming. So is this going to be... I think... It's just to help the flower be a bit more sticky outy, 3D. Yeah, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing, but I've got a wee idea to give you the pop that you might or might not approve of. Right, so let's pop in this. I call this a cornflower. Make sure the backing's off your dimensional because it won't stick otherwise. And I have only just used, I'm only just using that's the only sticky bit on this. I'm just going, where are we now? Right one. Let's take the other flowers. Another project will be coming up. Or maybe I'll make the same project over again but with coloured flowers to see how that looks. So I have, yay, I'm easily amused, girls. Okay. So I've got these butterflies. These are in the meadow dyes too. Did you know that they had nice butterflies in there? Because I had kind of forgotten. And I think that is the beauty of having time to look at things again and remembering. It's kind of like plaster, isn't it? Decorated plaster. goodness, what a mess we've got here. Right, so here's what I'm thinking. Just take a wee colour and a brush. I've no idea. If you want, I don't know if this is going to work, we'll decide though, okay? So I'm just going to get a bit of Orchid Oasis and just add a small, teeny weeny bit of colour to the butterflies. That's a scientific measurement, a teeny weeny bit. Sorry, my brain's just gone, my mouth's gone quiet because my brain stopped working. I just had this idea just to add the tiniest amount of colour. So I have popped a little bit of glue on the body and then a dimensional on the wing. Just need to hold it a moment. Oh, that was two. Very clever, Janice. I didn't realise that. Okay, well, that's the one with the colour, so we'll just stick it on the top because otherwise life's too short. Not trying to pick it off. Just hold it for a minute. Your tweezers even would work better. And then last one, just a teeny weeny bit of glue. That's my new measure of things. Teeny weeny. Are y'all okay? You just put this at a different height from the other two panels. So, there we have my 3-panel card. Obviously then you can put you could write it on the back. You could equally cut that twice and make it even longer. Do you know, you could have a whole panel. And that will, to a certain extent, if you're just careful, it will fold up. I think it would probably be better presented in a little box, but I'm not there yet in my head. I could make one later. That might be my next project, is to make a box for it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Would you prefer the butterflies to stay white, or do you like that tiny little hint of colour? Could I have added colour here? You can add sparkle. So without changing the colour, you can then take your Wink of Stella. Because I just can't leave things alone, can I? But why not? Why not add a bit of... You probably won't see this too well on camera, but it gives it a really nice bit of shimmer. I think that needs stuck down a bit. Let's just sort that flower out while we're here. So thanks everyone for coming and spending time with me today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of Easter weekend. I may well be back. With a box to pop this in. There we go. So lots of texture and lots of interest. So yeah. Again, you can add dimension, some bling, whatever. That's going to annoy me though. That needs to stick down. Stay. So there you have it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle from the Wink of Stella, but it really just does add just that little bit of interest there. So now I need to find the door out. So thanks so much for sharing some of your... I'll let you see it close up actually. So if you haven't not already subscribed to me, please do. Please do. And get notified. If you push the bell icon, you'll get notified when I'm coming on again. If you want to buy any of these products, they're available on my online shop at JazzleDazzle.stampinup.net, or message me and ask me any questions that you like. So yeah, I'm going to go and get myself spruced up a wee bit and ready to go out. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Scotland. Yeah, and I'm going to have to brave the supermarket later on, but hey, you know, all days cannot be perfect. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, everyone. Be blessed. Where's the door? Where's the door?